What's up, guys? It's Rye. So, Gizelle and Robyn from Potomac Housewives, they were just in New York at the Breakfast Club. They were doing an interview, and they basically just were promoting their new podcast, Reasonably Shady. They were just spilling some tea on the upcoming season that's coming out, season 6 of Potomac. Basically, Robyn and Gizelle, hold on, this is what I'm drinking today. This little drink, is not sponsored, but this is good. You can even see the damn light. It's like a watermelon and watermelon mint drink. It is so good. It tastes like a mojito or something. It got like mint and everything in it. I'm like, it needs something else. So we're gonna put some of this in it. I'm like, let me just drink while I'm talking to y'all. Cause it's so good. That's a lot of vodka, right? It's fine. So I just put some vodka in it. But it's like a watermelon, what did it say? Watermelon mint lemonade. Okay. Anyways. So, hold on. Okay. Ooh, it's strong. So Robyn and Gizelle, they're at the Breakfast Club. And they're basically just elaborating. So they got a podcast coming out called Reasonably Shady, right? So Robyn's just like, I'm the more reasonable one. Gizelle's the shady one. Reasonably Shady. That's how we came up with it. Whatever, kind of cute. So they said that they were just during the pandemic, they were doing they were always on Instagram Live together, and like a lot of their fans were chiming in basically saying like they should start a podcast. They like, tuning into Gizelle and Robyn's conversations. They get a more like in-depth feel of them for them outside of the show. Cause of course, like Robyn was saying, like on the show, they have to follow like a storyline, whatever. So Gizelle and Robyn were at the Breakfast Club. So they're just asking them a bunch of different questions, random questions. So they asked Gizelle about her relationship with JAMAL. They asked Robyn about what's going on with the wedding this season, what's going on with her relationship with Juan. They basically both just admitted they were being cheated on. So listen to what Gizelle had to say about her relationship with JAMAL, basically saying that they're broken up and all this other stuff. Excuses, but take a look at what Gizelle had to say about her relationship with JAMAL.
That brings us to Gizelle and her relationship with
JAMAL.
Yeah, listen, because it is a little similar, right? Like you guys broke up.
Yeah.
You're working on getting back together. Some people don't feel like it's a good idea. Even your own daughters might not necessarily think it's a good idea.
Yes.
So
Well, there's an update. There's a plot twist. Mm-hmm. So yes, we were working on us getting back together and being back together. But he lives in Atlanta. I live in Maryland. With the pandemic, we realize it's just not the right time. It's just not going to work. So right now I am footloose and fancy free. I am single. I am enjoying my hot girl summer, spring, winter, and fall.
So Gizelle is basically going on and on and basically saying like the long distance is the reason why her and JAMAL broke up, and the pandemic is just too hard. She lives in Maryland, he lives in Atlanta. But you already know after last season, after Monique ate his ass up with the binder and pulling out all those text messages receipts, he said he wasn't doing it anymore. But also he barely was in the show last season for season 5. So it's like a lot of people were getting in Gizelle about that too. Like, Gizelle, how are you having this storyline but JAMAL's not even around? How are you saying you dating this guy, he's not even around? And then he dragged you through the mud and treat you like crap and cheated on you and did a whole bunch of other things. And there was also allegedly rumors and stuff like that going out that he had a baby or someone was pregnant recently once him and Gizelle were trying to figure things out. So it was kind of like Gizelle was kind of embarrassing herself bringing JAMAL back onto the show. And it just really didn't make any sense to why she was continuing to pursue JAMAL. Like, it's been years. Gizelle's a beautiful woman. Like, why are you pursuing JAMAL? He's trash, allegedly. Like, he's trash. So then then they go to Robyn. They ask Robyn, like, what's going on with you and Juan? Didn't you guys come on the show as like a divorced couple? Like, how's everything going down? Or are we going to get a wedding? And she kind of was like, blamed again everything on the pandemic. No, I just want to have a responsible wedding. I don't want to get married during the pandemic. And they just were asking her about like, how's the relationship if you guys were divorced when the show first came on? How was that? And she was like, well, when the show first came on, we were divorced, but we were trying to work it out. We were trying to figure things out. Also, Juan was going through a lot with his team, and, he wasn't signed anymore. Then he, later on, in the recent years of us being together, but we were separated, but we were still together under one roof, he started to go back to school for coaching and everything. And she was like, I was with Juan since college. and you know, he was going through a lot. He had death in the family and just different things going on with his life, and I didn't want to leave him high and dry, and you know, I wanted to stick by him because with Juan being like a professional athlete coming from the NBA to, you know, not being in the NBA anymore and living like a regular life or not living that lavish life of an NBA player, she was just saying that she knows it's hard. NBA basketball is all Juan knows, so she didn't want to leave him, even though they were going through tough times. She didn't want to leave him while he was, you know, wasn't 100% and wasn't 100%, you know, with where he wanted to be at in life and trying to figure his career out after basketball and everything. So she was like, she was with him since high school and with him through thick and thin, so she didn't want to leave him. Also, they have kids. But then they asked Robyn if her and Juan ever dated outside the marriage, or even though they were separated but still living under the same roof, did he ever date? Did she ever date? And Robyn was like, said that Juan dated, but she didn't. Take a look at her reasoning for why she didn't date, but allowed Juan to date.
So question, do you have to give him a record, and does he have to give you a record of everything that was done when y'all weren't together for that time?
Oh, that's a good question, Charlotte.
No. Well, you know, I mean, I know what he was doing. He was in a relationship when we were divorced. Well, actually, okay. When we were living in the house together, it's like, nah, we don't really want to. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Mm-mm.
So he would leave, and you would leave and go on dates and then come back?
I chose not to date.
Right.
Okay.
Because
But I was trying to
know,
set her up with people.
Yes.
Sorry, Juan.
I chose not to date because men can't really handle that.
Handle
But
what?
if you're not together,
Oh, yeah, the ego. Yeah, the male ego is
Yeah.
fragile. Yeah.
But you know, and I will say this: do you feel like you got very defensive when people talk to you about Juan during that time? Like,
Oh yeah, like early on in the show, for sure. Yeah,
Right.
because what we were doing didn't make sense to people, but for me, it made total sense to me because I was doing what needed to be done for my kids. I felt like, you know, if my kid's father was in a better place, then my kids are going to be in a better place.
Correct.
So
Now, how crazy does Robyn sound? She didn't want to date because Juan's ego, but he was out running around doing what he wanted to do. Like, how contradictory and how ass backwards is that? Like, you let him go out and do whatever he wants to do, stick his thing anywhere he wants to, but you didn't want to. Because I guess in Robyn's head the whole time, she's like, well, we're going to get back together. We're going to get back together. I don't want to. But the thing was, I think Robyn, so allegedly, supposedly, rumors, whatever, was that they really separated and broke up because Robyn cheated on Juan with Juan's best friend. So also, with the best friend, they had some type of business dealing. So it was Juan, Robyn, and Juan's friend. So the three of them. They had some type of business dealing that went bad. Robyn started sleeping with the friend, allegedly. And also the friend end up, since he kind of had his ends with Robyn and Juan on their business, he ended up taking the money, stealing the money. So on top of him stealing the money, Robyn also slept with them too. So I think Juan was just completely done with Robyn. Like, he just was over the situation. He was over her. Let me move this. Looking like a damn alky. Looking like an alky in the video. Got a bottle sitting back there. But yeah, so he just I think he just was done with Robyn. He was done with her. So I think that's why I think she kind of already, when Robyn did step out of the marriage, she kind of took it way overboard and slept with the friend and the homie. So I think she just, once they kind of separated but they were still together, I think she didn't even really want to entertain dealing with anybody, because I think Juan probably was a little bit disgusted with her. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think Juan was probably like, well, you want to go with my friend? Now I'm going to go do what I want to do, and we're not together. So I think Robyn kind of played herself a little bit and kind of just let Juan do what he wanted to do. Like, at that point, go do what you want to do. But she's like, his ego, and I didn't want to hurt him. But he's literally out dating and doing what he wants to do, and you didn't want to hurt him. Okay, Robyn. That doesn't make any sense at all. So you let him dip and do what he wants to do, but you don't want to go have no fun either. You're basically just sitting here saying, like, I just waited at home for the dust to settle and for him to come back to me. That is so pitiful. That is pitiful. That I feel sorry for Robyn. I feel sorry for her. So anyways, they start touching on other topics. They asked Gizelle about her relationship with Portia. How does she feel about Portia taking Fallon's man and everything? And Gizelle just gave this little half-ass answer too. Just like, I work with Portia, so I don't want to, you know, that's my girl. Kind of like what they're all doing on Dish Nation. Just kind of just giving Portia a pass. Kind of just like, hey girl, how's the engagement going? Like, just kind of just like like not even really telling her how it is, like not even really asking her like, are you sure you want to do this? It's just like they just bigging her up, cheering her on, and if that was any other castmate, because Gizelle already said she wouldn't want that done to her. She said she wouldn't want any cast member to do that to her on Potomac. So if that was any other castmate, Gizelle would be going ham. If somebody took Jamal or somebody took Sherman, Gizelle will be going ham on them. But also Gizelle kind of spilled the beans and said that she doesn't think Fallon is going to be on this next season. And to be honest, I think Gizelle might have some truth to that, because think about it. Portia is the main housewife. She's going to now have to have Simon and all of them around. What does Fallon look like coming back on the show to argue with them? And as much as we want to see it as the viewer and as juicy and gossipy and just like as good as it seems realistically, like, do you really think the three of them are going to be on the show arguing and everything? Fallon's not built. I don't even think Fallon's built like that to really come back on the show and be arguing with Portia and everything. Like, I don't think that, and like, how does that look like now you see Simon and Portia like on this side and then Fallon's arguing with them? Like, it just, like, realistically though, it doesn't make sense. So Gizelle already said that she doesn't think Fallon's going to come back on the show, but we'll see. Gizelle said her and Karen are doing okay. She said they're doing good. She also said that she unfollowed Wendy. Gizelle said she unfollowed Wendy off of Instagram because Wendy's boring. Wendy's not boring. She might be a little annoying, but she's not boring. That's why she's back for another season. She's not, well, I wouldn't even say that, because we see how long Robyn's been on the show, and Robyn is a snooze, okay? I like them all for their individual, but Robyn is a little boring. I'm surprised Robyn is holding on this long. But Gizelle says she unfollowed Wendy because Wendy's boring. So Angela Yee, one of the hosts on the radio station, asked Gizelle, well, what's the, like we saw in the trailer that you were kind of getting in Wendy's business, what's going on? So Gizelle admits, she's like, I know that I'm, usually shady, and I'm usually the one kind of stirring the pot on the show. So you know it, okay. So what's new this season? So why is this a new leaf this season? Anyway, why are you how are you expecting people to think you're turning over a new leaf this season? Anyway, so Gizelle's like, I usually am shady. I usually am the one stirring the pot and being messy. I can admit that. But I was genuinely coming to Wendy out of concern, and I was genuinely coming to Wendy out of, just let's just lay it out on the table because it's already out there. And it's like, can we talk about Jamal, what's already out there? Like, let's talk about that. So why do you keep always wanting to talk about other people's business, Gizelle? So she's like, Wendy didn't receive it as, as me trying to do a good thing or me looking out for her. No, you weren't, because I bet you the cameras were rolling and you guys were mic'd. You could have pulled her to the side like, hey, like, what's going on with the rumors? Especially what you went through with Monique bringing up certain things, touchy situations. You could have asked her like, hey, what's going on with you and Eddie? I think Wendy's husband name is Eddie. What's going on with you and Eddie? Like, can we talk about this on camera? Like, how are you moving? If you genuinely cared about her, you would have done that. Because with all the cheating rumors and everything going around about Juan right now and Robyn, I don't think you're not bringing it up to her. Like, so what's going on with you and Juan? I heard he's cheating. You're not. I'm pretty sure you're talking to her, talking to Robyn about her situation. What can we talk about, girl? What can we not talk about? So don't try to sit here and play dumb, Gizelle. Like, you are on the show. You know what you're doing. Also, Robyn tries to elaborate on, some of the scenes that we saw in the trailer about her being depressed and not getting out of bed and all that other stuff. And she basically blames it on the pandemic. What else did you guys think she was going to blame it on? She blames it on the pandemic, basically just saying that she, life wasn't normal anymore. The only thing she really had to look forward to was getting her kids out of bed and getting them ready to do their homework. She would get on the laptop to do a few things here and there, and then she would get right back into bed. So she said, I wouldn't even really classify it or call it a depression. I just was kind of just, there was just, I don't know the word she used, but she basically said she wasn't depressed, just life wasn't normal anymore. But again, that's not why. We all know why, because you're not getting married this season, because Juan doesn't want to marry you. That's why you're depressed. And so you're trying to figure out how we're going to keep dragging this storyline on, and you want to keep blaming it on the damn pandemic. Juan didn't even want to propose to you last season. You guys aren't going to get married. You're blaming it on the pandemic and everything else. That's why you're depressed. You're depressed also because there's rumors allegedly that Juan is stepping out again. So I honestly feel like they were done. Like, Robyn and Juan were probably done before the show. They were struggling financially, which Robyn talks about on the show, and then even in this interview how badly they were struggling. Which she said when they started the show, they were broke. Also, she said that her and Juan were, in bankruptcy, foreclosure. They lost their business. The business I was talking about with the friend earlier, they lost their business, everything. So I think that them coming onto the show, they both knew what they were doing. Like, okay, let's do this show. You know, explain how, you know, we're divorced but separated, but we're working on it. And it's like, what, the last 5-6 years they've been getting checks for Robyn to do this show. It's slowly, you know, keeping them afloat. I'll play along too. Yeah, I love you too, baby. Yeah, I'm gonna marry you too. Yeah, for a bag. Yeah, and we're struggling and we're broke. I'll do the same thing Juan's doing. But I think now it's kind of coming to a head, and I think it's kind of like you can only keep playing this role for so long. And if the next season you guys aren't planning a wedding, you're not trying on any dresses, hang it up, flat screen, it's done. So I'm probably missing a few more, but I just wanted to come on here and touch really quickly about Robyn and Gizelle doing the Breakfast Club interview. I can say, even though I'm dragging them a lot, Gizelle was very good for the show because you need that outspoken, shady person. Also, Gizelle was like elaborating with how, you know, being on reality TV is not for everybody. Gizelle is definitely made for reality TV. She's good for the show. I think Robyn kind of helps Gizelle because she even said too, like, I'm the more reasonable one. Sometimes I can, you know, tell Gizelle how it is off camera. Like me and Gizelle are like this. We're best friends. So, you know, I'm not going to do it to her in camera or around the group, but I will do it off camera. We do tell each other how it is, or girl, that wasn't right, girl. You shouldn't have said this. You shouldn't have said that, but off camera. So I guess that's good. They're a united front for each other. But to be honest, I don't know how long Robyn's going to last on the show. I don't even think Robyn could pull off a podcast by herself. Like, I don't think she could pull off a podcast by herself. Robyn's boring. Robyn's very boring and dry. And like I said, she's holding on to Gizelle's coattail. Gizelle could have probably done a podcast on her own, maybe had a couple celebrity or, you know, special guests come on the show, and it would have been good, and kind of do like a speak on it, or, you know, one of those YouTube type of vibes where how Candy and the other housewives do, where they might bring a person on or interview certain cast members from the show. But I honestly do not think that Robyn could have pulled off a podcast or a little show or a YouTube channel by herself, because she's just boring. Like, I don't even want to say boring. Robyn is just she's boring. I didn't want to say boring, but I ended up saying boring. So, yeah, basically they both just blamed their cheating spouses on the pandemic and why the relationship isn't working on long distance and growth and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Robyn basically said that she played her own self out, just trying to stick by Juan because she already stuck by him. What's those little memes? I'm going to stick beside him. Yep, that's my man. I'm going to stick beside him. I just want to say thank you to everyone for supporting my channel. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. I want to know you guys' opinions on everything. So leave a comment and let's get the conversation going. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.